Welcome, everyone. I'm Angelia Insco, the CEO of Induction Therapies. Thank you for joining us tonight. What we hope to be a wonderful educational night in our Build a Brand workshop. Tonight, we will be presenting our PRR pill in 4 and 8%, which is a retinol pill. We'll discuss that more in a second. And our Reveal pill, which is a multi-acid pill. So what I'd like to do first is thank Dr. Donald Clemens and Kathy Atkins here in East Tennessee for hosting us, providing our models. And he will also be able to answer questions tonight about how they've used the pill in their practice. They've been using both of them well over 6 years in their practice. So he'll be available for questions on that. He'll be talking a little bit about why he actually picked this particular model for this pill, the PRR pill, which is the one we'll do first. And I want to introduce to you Madeline Cusimano. She is an esthetician and our national sales manager. And she will be performing the peel on the patient tonight. At this point, I'm going to turn it over to Dr. Clemens to tell us a little bit about the model and why he picked this particular model.
She kept the kids for over 30 days.
We've actually got the postcard for this PR appeal. We have a patient, she has acne rosacea, it's flares, she has good days, bad days, more bad days, good days. We won't have a peel that we were going to do. It could be a good introductory peel. But in her case, she has very, very sensitive skin, very delicate skin. And we didn't want to use a peel that would create a lot of peeling, irritation, inflammation, discomfort. And so the PRR is perfect that at 4%. She probably will need it. We're going to start with 4% with this because of the inflammation. You can see the rosacea she has with the pink cheeks, forehead, and the like neoform papules in there. So with the PRR, it's not an acid.
Just get yourself ready and we'll keep. I'm going to be listening to this.
As well. So if you have a sensitive skin patient that you want to do something that's not going to have a big peel, they can go ahead and do anything you want to tomorrow. Their skin's going to look good, plump, help repair, get some collagen going. This is a peel for you.
So a little bit about what PRR stands for. It's protein-rich retinol. So what we use in the PRR peel is all-trans retinol. We're going to talk about that in a little bit. What I want to tell you, though, is there's going to be a set of slides that could be going through. At the end of this, you will be emailed all of these slides, so you don't have to worry about necessarily, taking every note that's on there or anything. I'm going to be telling you a little bit of how the peel was developed, why it was developed, and while she's performing the peel. At the same time, she'll be telling you a little bit about what she's doing, showing you, how she mixes the peel, how she prepares to get started. The patient has already been prepped. Her skin is a clean slate already. And so I'm going to turn it over to Madeline to kind of get started. And then while she's peeling, I'll go back and talk to you a little bit about the makeup and the development of the peel. So.
All right. So I'm going to show you how to actually prep the peel when it arrives to you. It does come in pad form, which then you need to pour the formulation on top of the pads and get them saturated so that you can use them. So we have our pad jar, comes in a little container like this.
In the pad jar, you have 25 pads. So with each peel, you'll be able to get 25 layers of peels out of it. And she's going to pour the active retinol over the pads.
All right, so I'm just going to close this for a sec.
While she's getting that ready, I'm going to tell you that so the retinol that's in here is all trans retinol. So all trans retinol is the alcohol version of what you know as tretinoin, which is the acid version. So retinols can be microencapsulated and slowly dispensed into the skin. Therefore, they're not as irritating, and you can get more collagen deposition from the retinols. Because this is encapsulated along with 21 amino acids, it does have to be activated with, we have an activator. It's going to be a mist. And what that does is it's in a non-aqueous base, and that then releases the retinol to be active once she does that. So I'm going to turn it back over to Madeline.
All right. So then the activator comes in the kit as well. I'm just going to have her close her eyes. I'm going to spritz a little so the spritz not right on you. All right.
So while she's preparing that, I'll tell you that, so all trans retinol, actually, the molecular weight of all trans retinol is 288. And as you know, tretinoin is 300, retinol palmitate is 328, and retinol acetate is 328, and retinol palmitate is 524. So as we know, anything should be less than 500 molecular weight to get into the skin. So all trans retinol actually has the smallest molecular weight of any retinol or tretinoin that there is on the market.
All right, so we have the pad saturated. I'm going to start on her forehead and work my way down. As instructed by Dr. Clemens, I am going to get on those pink areas, which is going to be awesome for rosacea. How is that feeling?
Feels great.
Okay, see, there's no sting or irritation. Great peel. You can, I mean, as quick as I'm doing it now is how quick you can do it.
You could do more than one layer if you want to. Since this is her first time to have this peel, you can see her skin's very sensitive. We are just going to do one peel or one layer. As you can see, there's no irritation. She's not stinging or burning. If you have someone that this is their first peel time and they're a little bit nervous about peels, this is a great one to do. Great one to do on sensitive skin. Great one to do on people who want to glow. Maybe somebody who is going on vacation. They want to look great, but they don't want to be peeling, be worried about the sun. This would be a great one to do. It is self-neutralizing. We want them to leave it on there at least 8 hours. So if you're doing it in the afternoon, they should definitely just go home, not wash their skin even, and go to sleep in this, and then start the post-procedure the next morning.
And then I am going to spritz her one more time. Maybe close your eyes. All right.
And there you are. That's how easy that is to do.
Absolutely.
Okay. The peel is actually done. Do you want to go over the post-procedure with her, Madeline?
Absolutely. So at home, we want her to obviously take care of her skin. So we do have a post-procedure kit, which has a gentle cleanser. I mean, literally, there's nothing in there. Everyone can use it. What Angelia likes to say is,
it's not what's in it, it's what's not in it. So there's no acids in it. There's no parabens. It is vegan. It is a pH of 7. So we're making that skin alkalinic and not acidic. So she's not going to be irritated more. I mean, this particular cleanser, we actually sell for people to take home in larger bottles. And it is easy. They could take off their makeup or even their eye makeup with it, for sure. We've had people private label it to do, you know, when they get the lashes, to even use for that. That's how gentle it is.
so we'll have the cleanser. It will have a hyaluronic acid, in which is called Phase. And then we have a coconut milk moisturizer, which is called Duet. And then our VP22. So this is like a BB cream that you could put on, you know, during the day to sort of even out that redness and all that good stuff. She won't have to start using this until tomorrow, because we want her to go home tonight, not touch it, don't wash it, so she can get all the benefits of that retinol. Okay. All right. And if you have any questions, you just let us know. And then you are ready to go.
Feels great.
Good.
Now, can we take questions about the PRR pill now? Would they come in?
Yeah.
Okay. So if anybody has any questions that they would like to ask Dr. Clemens or myself about this particular peel while we're changing out the models, we're happy to take those peels. I mean, those questions. Peel on the mind, don't I?
Okay. All right. And then we'll go over the peels afterwards.
Yes.
But this is the reveal pill next.
Okay. So who's monitoring the questions, guys?
Let's see. I can't see it quite yet, but I'll bring that up.
Okay, so we want to go ahead and get the next patient in here, or the model, and get them on the table.
Along with the candidates racing for the White House.
That's something.
Nomination for the White House. Plus, a warning about air quality and
Wow.
fire smoke settles over large parts of the U.S. The city seeing the most impact in.
Nobody's showing a Democrat yet, have they?
Perfect. How long to see results?
That's more, how long to see results with this, well, overnight, the next day. All
right, whatever.
Because it's retinoid, you can get long-term results, so all this space of weeks.
Really, the next morning, you really see your skin glowing, and it's like a collagen bomb went off in it. I mean, I'm just, way out, I would say is if I was wanting to get some, if I was a salesperson, I want to get somebody's account, I would actually hand this to the front desk person and say, just go home and use this tonight. In the morning, you're going to see a difference. That's how easy it is. Okay. So, I mean, the results are really quick.
All right, is there a recommended regimen, meaning, you know, how many peels in your first month, how many peels in your second month, et cetera, maintenance, how would you space them out?
It depends on the patient, depends on what you're treating. Okay, you can do a treatment 4%, you can repeat again in a couple of weeks, and you might want to wait maybe 4 weeks. Now, if they're really inflammatory, if they're really having a lot of problems, you can do it more often. If you want to do more just as a maintenance every month, 2 months, but you can easily do it every month, every 4 weeks with no problems if they would like it.
And they can step up to the 8%. After having the 4%, you could step up to the 8%. Also, the 8% makes a great body peel. Okay, because remember, there's no burning or stinging. So it's all, and I know that they've performed those here for body peels. So like the knees and elbows, I mean, crepey skin on the arms. You can do larger areas near the décolleté. Absolutely.
And then how long after the peel did they start peeling?
They don't peel.
Well, they can peel. We never say they don't. So usually in about 48 hours, somewhere around there. It all depends on what they prep their skin with. You know, if they've been using tretinoids and things like that, then this is going to get into their skin quicker. You know, if they've already been on retinols, for instance, it's going to get into their skin quicker. They might see it start a little bit before then. If not, if they haven't been, then this has got to penetrate those layers, you know, that haven't had any exfoliation for a while, and it would be slower, and maybe they wouldn't even see a peel that time. They might just see a glow.
So my thing with this is that sometimes they don't even really get a real peel, where they've got the snake skin coming off and everything.
More
It's a
flaking.
gentler peel.
Yeah.
Let's see, should you stop any skincare with actives? How many days before this peel?
I wouldn't.
Mm-mm.
No reason to. It's a mild peel, but they're not gonna be thinking in their skin that this would be stronger than to react with it. So no.
Okay,
No.
so if someone was on hydroquinone, that would be totally fine.
Yes. Mhm.
Okay.
Absolutely. And it's good for all skin types. Very safe for all skin types.
Okay.
And times of the year too, you don't have to do it just in the winter, and you know, they should be in sunscreens anyway, but it's not when you worry about, you know, inflammation, post-inflammatory degradation either. You do the regular care, but you're not as concerned as you might be with some of our other peels that are stronger, more irritating.
Great. What are the pHs of the peels?
The pH of this peel is 4.3 of this particular PRR peel.
Right, and then we'll take questions on the reveal peel. After.
Right. We'll take questions on that later after
Okay.
we've done that. Yes.
All right, that's all the questions.
Okay.
Right.
We want to thank Dr. Clemens for providing our next model to do the reveal peel on. So while they're getting that ready, I'm going to talk to you a little bit about the reveal peel. So what it has in it, it has TCA, it has phytic, mandelic, pyruvic, glycolic, and salicylic. Total acid percent of all those together are 32. The pH of this is 0.9 actually. So it's very acidic. The highest level of any of the acids is the TCA, and it's 10%. So you'll see how simple it is. Also self-neutralizing. So once again, we don't want them to use any water or anything on their skin with this in for 2 hours. It's going to neutralize in 2 hours completely. And as you know, you can put water on and it can reactivate some of the acids that are in here. So we want to stay away from that. Once again, they could go to bed and not tonight. We would prefer she not wash her face tonight. And then there'll be a specific follow-up kit she'll use at home that has some boosters in it that to give her more results based on kind of what she wants, you know, how much more peeling she wants or how less peeling she wants, then maybe she wouldn't use the booster at all. So Madeline, we're going to turn it over to you.
Okay, well, I guess for Dr. Clemens, why would you choose the reveal peel for her?
Okay. this is your more prototypical patient to come in for a chemical peel. But very often this patient would come in and talk, what can you do for our skin? And while I might talk more some of the other procedures we do, some of our mechanical things, some of the instruments we would use, very often they just don't want to make that step. So what could they do? So this is perfect. She has the inflammation. She's nice Upper East Tennessee skin. I mean, we have them by the million, well, hundreds and hundreds of thousands here with us. The Scotch-Irish family have been out in the sun an awful lot. So we have the pigmentation, irregularity, they have little fine wrinkles, some of the deeper creases too, but the fine wrinkling, little crepey skin. So this is a patient I'd want to do a good peel on, but a kind, friendly peel for also, because I don't want to scare her away. So, peels are great introductory. It can be a gateway thing for you too. So we're using one that's an excellent peeling agent. It's not that inflammatory, so it is patient friendly. And this is a good one for her to start with while she's thinking some of the other more invasive things we might do.
Awesome. Okay. So, her skin is already prepped and cleaned. So we're just going to get started with the peel. So it does come in a roller ball applicator, which I love because then you're not messing around with pouring it into little cups or a fan brush or, having any dripping or anything like that, on the patient. So I have a lot of control with the roller ball. This is her obviously first time, so you can get about 5 to 7 layers out of this. I'm not going to go that deep tonight. I'm going to go about 2 to 3. I am going to watch for obviously frosting and things like that, to make sure we don't overdo it and you still like me. So I'm going to start right here on the forehead, and as you see, the roller ball applicator is just gliding across that skin. I'm obviously having some overlap, so I make sure I'm not missing any spots there.
Another thing I like about this roller ball is, let's say, that you've got somebody with some big piece of melasma here or hyperpigmentation. Even though you do their whole skin, you might go back and do an extra layer with that, or maybe some extra scarring or deeper, like wrinkles, lines. You could go back and layer an extra layer in there without having to give the whole face that extra depth of peel, but you can give that particular area that, and it's very easy to control where it's going with the roller ball. It's a very easy sanitary application with the roller ball, and it's already prepped for you. And like she said, you can get anywhere, depending on the size of the face, probably 6 to 7 layers out of it. So you wanted to do the back of their hands with it, because certainly people get aging there. You could even do the back of their hands and do an upcharge. This particular peel sells to you for $63. I know tonight there is going to be specials, by the way, and they probably already emailed you those, or they will be emailing you those, and you'll have through Monday afternoon to take advantage of those specials where you can get discounts on these pills. So you can see how simple it is to apply.
Nice. As you see, she's getting a little pink, so I'm checking in on her. How are you feeling? Okay, on a scale of 1 to 10, 10 being the worst, how are you feeling?
Probably a 1.
Okay.
Not a lot of burning.
Stinging a little bit. Okay. So with the TCI, I do like to obviously have it sit for a couple of seconds once I finish this last drop here, because it can start to build that more of like that heat. So I just want to see how we're doing. Sometimes you do need to bring out a small fan for this one, just to ease the comfort. Some people don't need it. Some people need it all. So it just depends, but she's saying she's doing good. Has it increased at all?
Just a little.
Like a 2, 3?
Yeah.
Okay. So we're probably good to move on. I'm looking, we're not seeing any frosting or anything like that. So I'm going to go ahead and do the same formation that I just did, so I make sure this is an even application. I like this small roller ball as well because I can get as close around the eyes like this without having to worry, like, is it dripping? Is it, going to get in her eyes? All right. So you definitely can see her getting pinker and pinker. which we love. I'm gonna turn you, and then this swipe, I'm gonna do your nose, okay?
Mhm.
And how's it feeling?
5 out of 3.
3 now?
Mhm.
Okay. So that's normal, and actually I'm expecting that. So the sensation shouldn't be alarming to anyone. That's what's supposed to happen. And again, it's only from when she's in the chair. So we're not gonna send her home with her feeling like out of 10 or anything like that. I'm just
No.
gonna do your nose. All right.
Technique wise, is there anything you do specific to make sure you're not going over the eyeball or whatever, just action technique of putting this on?
That I'm not,
Purposes.
for safety purposes, we could definitely put on like coverings.
Yeah, no, I mean, at this point, though, the fact you go out and around, never crossing over the.
Right, never.
Yeah,
Mhm.
so it's something you want to be very, very careful. The eyeball is about the only really sensitive place on your patient when you're doing that. So any peel you're doing, and this one's so nice because it doesn't drip, but still, you always want to go ahead and make sure you go from the eyebrows up and around, but never cross across the eyeballs for any of your peels.
Right. And how are we feeling?
About the same.
About the same?
Mhm.
3, 4?
3, 4,
Okay.
yeah.
Should we do another layer, Dr.
I
Clements?
think I would. She
Okay.
she could definitely use it.
Okay, well,
No.
let's start.
Okay. Now, the other thing with this is she's doing the peel. You know, peels are a perfect place for you immediately post peel. And when they come in for the follow-up also is to introduce your skin repair lines. Again, you've got skin repair lines, not skin cover-up lines that you do carry. So this is now getting them into it. You're taking off that little top layer. You're getting her exosomes really jazzed up to start doing repair, getting fibroblasts in, getting all the repair genes going. So now's a good time to get her going on good home care. So if it's a new patient, their first peel, you really want to get them on something to continue this. And again, that makes a long-term patient for you, and you can do other things later on too. But they really need to continue this. This is not a one and done procedure. This is your introductory procedure for them. So always think of your peels as an opportunity.
And how are you feeling now?
A little hotter.
A little hotter? Okay, like a 5, 6?
Probably 5.
So you can
Okay.
see as you add these layers, that it's getting a little deeper each time. In fact, I wouldn't be surprised if we saw a little frosting with her this time. Just know that you can also go ahead and use this down on the neck if you want to, and in the décolleté area, you know, to at least do 1 layer in that. I mean, obviously that's a little thinner, sensitive skin, but you could take advantage of that. Maybe charge a little more. It's taking a little time. You're doing larger areas. But you're gonna be able to get all of that out of this roller ball.
Now, would you go back in and spot treat more of the darker
Yeah,
areas?
if she had a darker area there, melasma area, or a cafe LA, well, cafe LA may not respond, but yeah, definitely. So I would spot touch if there's a place
Yeah.
that just jumps out at you and says, "Get me."
Yeah, I'm like, let's.
You're not going to do any harm with this.
I don't see any frosting at all.
She could take a burn, this
Doing
lady.
good?
Looking good.
All right. Well, that's 3 layers. Should
Wow.
we do another one?
It's
Raise
okay
your
to walk in
hand.
before peeling and everything. You don't have a big party plan for or
No,
something.
nothing is.
So that's another question I asked is because you will get a little more activity tomorrow and the next day if you go another layer, but you
Are you
definitely could go another layer.
Are you starting to cool down? Or are you still heating up?
I'm cooling down, but this part's hot. My nose.
Yeah.
It's,
That's sensitive.
So maybe you might stay away from that the next go round if you do another layer.
yeah,
Yeah, we'll stay away from the nose.
And where you are now on the scale of 1 to 10.
probably 4.
So it's starting to cool down a little bit.
Yeah.
Okay.
And one of the areas on her that you won't hit also is the little crepiness she has on her upper lip. Nice to get a little more activity going there too, and just smooth that just a little bit.
So you know what you should see improve, like Dr. Clemens, you've done these pills, like I said, I know probably this one for 8 or 9 years. What improvements are people looking to see with this particular pill?
Okay, it's not going to be the same result, of course, you can get with the laser resurfacing or something. That's not the purpose of this peel. She should have more of a glow to her skin. She should have some lightening of the pigmented areas. The little fine crepiness should be improving. Her skin should start regeneration. And especially if you start her on a good retinoid, other good, again, whatever you're gonna use for pigmentation also. But she should notice a freshness to her skin. It should feel better.
Yeah.
The makeup should go on better, not cake as much. So she's going to be pleased with the results herself. And it
What's
will
she-
take a few weeks to a few months even to get the full benefits of it. But early on, she will definitely notice something. She'll know she had something done, but it's not going to be too aggressive for her.
But you would target hyperpigmentation with this?
Definitely.
Acne, pics, scarring?
Well, again, the scarring, you're not going to affect the collagen underneath that much. You'll get some, and now you get a little plumping of the skin with this. So if they have the ice pick scarring, it'll be a little less because you'll get plumping in the skin. But the
Gone
acne
hot?
itself, you should
Yeah.
expect some
Okay, yeah.
improvement
That's
there
good.
because you're going to open up the pores. You're going to, from the comedones open up and get out. Acne is a disease of comedones, called pores. So you should start improving that also. But again,
Okay.
this gets you to the other products. So if you really want to hit the pigment, well, you're going to use something along with that to continue on. But you should get some lightening, and it should get her excited about we're doing something for my skin and it doesn't hurt and I'm not looking bad, I'm not scaring people.
And would you sell these in a series and maybe do another one in 30 days?
Oh, absolutely.
Okay.
Absolutely. You always want to, and you might up to something else, but this would be a good one to repeat in 30 days. Plus you can see how she's doing with the topicals you've given to her and see if she's have anything else added to make sure she's using her sunscreen.
Would you charge per layer or do you charge a flat fee and you decide the layers?
Well, I'm going to ask Kathy on that. How do we do this, Kathy?
I would actually charge by layers, that's what we do.
Okay,
And you know, you also can add on some microneedling, do a microderm before to clean the skin really well. Get off that top layer so it really penetrates. So there's other things you can do with them.
Yeah.
Very
Okay.
safe.
We'll a lot of times do this peel in getting them ready for a microneedling because this gets things charged up, gets your motor running. So
okay,
you can then go on to a microderm following or microneedling following that, and you can do a microneedling on the peel too.
okay, perfect.
Awesome. And how are you feeling?
Feeling good.
Okay, what are you at?
Probably 2.
Trying to calm down.
Okay,
Yeah.
perfect. So it's starting to calm down. So I'm just gonna go over her post-care kit with her. It's definitely essential for her to have a post-care kit. So is the other peel, but always with the reveal peel, I'm like, it's a must.
And it comes with the peel. The
Yeah.
post-care kit you're going to give them comes with the peel. It's incorporated in the price.
Correct. So it comes with a cleanser. Same thing, just a gentle cleanser. Anyone can use it. It's just gentle as taking off your eye makeup, all that good stuff. But what's essential is our 3-day booster in here. It has, our 6 amazing acids in there. It's really going to help her, get that peeling process going, support that peeling process. You can start this tomorrow. And use it every day until it's done. You could use it 2 times a day. That's totally fine. You might not want to tomorrow, but you'll start to get a little bit more comfy with it. And then our Nutrimoist moisturizer is in there as well, which has a 5% L-ascorbic acid in there. Glides
looks
really
good.
nice. It feels good. It's soothing. If you need something tonight, obviously you just can't do anything for the next 2 hours. So don't wash, don't put on a moisturizer. We've done it at nighttime, so no need for a sunscreen or anything like that. Tomorrow, definitely include a sunscreen.
So you can put on moisturizer after 2 hours if you're feeling tight now, but not for 2 hours.
Right.
So at your time, that'd be 9:30ish. You could do that.
Yeah.
Mhm. Absolutely. Now, if someone is peeling a lot and they're irritated and they don't want to use a 3-day booster to get stronger
Yeah.
results, then they don't have to.
No,
That's what it is. You can boost the peel or you can just not use it. And so if they're already irritated, because I've had people literally call and say, listen, we're already peeling so much. What do we do? Well, don't be using the booster. And they were using the booster a couple times a day. You can use the booster once a day. You can put the booster on every other day. That's really up for you to decide for your patient how you want them to do it. They are going to start peeling within about 48 hours, and they will peel with this particular peel. Unless maybe you just did one layer and they weren't already on anything, they've been exfoliating their skin, then they might just get some flaking. But other than that, they're going to have a nice peel with this particular peel. And it is, yeah, self-neutralizing. Once again, I want to point that out. So you don't have to worry about sending anybody home, getting hot spots, as long as they don't go home and wet their face. So,
Yes. And then
Once
would
you
you
put-
feel, Dr. Clemens, that this peel is good for like flattening out scars or anything like that that's on the face?
It's going to plump up the skin, plump up the collagen, so that will do it in that sense.
Got it.
It's not going to affect the scar underneath there, but the appearance of the scar will
Will
improve.
soften, yeah.
Yes, yes.
Okay.
now, when they go home, this is the kit this peel comes in, and you're going to send them home with their post-care in here. And inside is their post-care instructions. Am I right?
Yep.
Yes. So you'll actually have that already written out on what they're supposed to do at home to send home with them as well. So it's
But
really
Dr.
simple.
Yeah.
Kind of got everything taken care of for you there. And so what we're going to do now is, first of all, thank you for coming in and
Yes.
having this done.
Yeah.
We're going to take questions once again for myself or Dr. Clemens, and I'm seeing a lot in the box now. So, yeah, we'll be answering any questions you have about really anything you want to know about. I know we had some come in about private label, where Dr. Clemens does private label here. So he can tell you the benefits of that. And
Need a doctor.
we're happy to talk to you, about the peel, the processes. So what's our first question, Madeline?
Our first question is, will it be okay to apply something like a Vaseline petroleum jelly to protect areas like the doctor said, like eyes, nostril area?
Well, the problem with that is you're talking about the eyelids, and if you're going to peel the eyebrow itself and on around, yes, you can, or you can put shields in. The beauty of this peel is it doesn't drip. I was really being more just generic about that. So I'm not worried about the skin getting on the eyelid. I'm worried about the eyeball itself. So the petroleum really wouldn't help you at all. It's just when you're doing this, anytime you're using a peel, most of the peels that we use, for instance, I'll use TCA for acne scarring or something, 75-80% TCA for that. But you always want to, when you're going, you never go over the eyeball, travel from here. You'll go down, around, but this is a no-fly zone. So
You don't pass it over this area is what he's saying, or over this area. If you go from one spot to the other, you go around this area with the
Right.
actual peel, so nothing ever drops in the eye.
And if you teach your estheticians or whoever's doing it, if you teach them to do that, you'll sleep a lot better.
I love that.
Okay, what kind of peel is best for age spots, suntan, mild hyperpigmentation, medium lines, wrinkles, and how often? So many questions.
Depends on how aggressive you want to be, but this is a
reveal
good
peel,
introductory peel. Start with this, and if you want to go to some of your stronger peels and.
Well,
usually-
do more layers,
Well, that's true too.
but you would
Yeah.
do this over
Yeah.
the PRR for the particular things that you've asked us about, the hyperpigmentation, sun damage
Yeah.
and all that.
Or do this in conjunction with the microneedling. Microneedling is really going to get down there and do the work you want to. So you can microneedle and do your peel too. And you got a lot more aggressive peel. I wouldn't start off with that one. I would
Right.
start off with, begin this, but then. you
Like a
become
layer.
more Aggressive. Yeah.
But Dr. Clemens, when you do that, because I know you've done that here in the office, and it's not been obviously clinically studied together and cleared by the FDA to do that, but I know that you've performed that treatment.
Sure.
And when you do, you perform the microneedling and then you add now you've opened up the skin, then you've added a
Then you
layer
add
on.
Layer in
Okay.
there, yes, a layer. Again, you're not gonna be as aggressive with the peel if you microneedle also, but you don't need to, okay? But just it gets you a better result. You're doing more for the patient. And again, you're not adding a lot of expense onto the patient.
Well, they're going home with the same post care they would have probably for microneedling. So that's already covered.
Exactly.
Okay.
All right. How often can you do this peel?
Once a month.
All right. What are you charging for it and how often should they be done?
You take a look what it's going for in the area, because what we charge here is gonna be completely different from what you're gonna charge in New York or Los Angeles or down in Destin, Florida, wherever. So you might want to hit that better, but
Well, we have some people who do one flat charge and they choose, how many layers it is. Some people charge by the layer because that takes more time. And I think that does kind of point out to the patient that there's more value in the layers, So somewhere around $300 is what I would say a starting point, on up to $700. That's kind of what I've seen. Once again, like Dr. Clemens said, it depends on if you're in New York City, you're going to pay top dollar, right? I mean, like microneedling, sometimes it's $300 a session. In New York City, it might be $1,500 a session. Okay, so I think that's what you have to look at, is what your area is and what it's going for.
Wow.
All right.
But
Okay.
you do need to talk to them about the value of the peel, because they can say, well, I can go someplace, I can get a peel for half that. Yeah, but what are you getting?
Yeah.
Okay, so that you have to talk, it's not about the cost, it's about the value. So all the acid you're putting on there, you're getting it from so many different areas. So anytime somebody starts talking about cost, get it shifted real quick to value.
Yeah.
Okay.
And they're going home with their post care is included in that price.
Great. Yeah, that's worth money right there.
Best peel for severe melasma. What if it extends to neck as well?
Yeah, you can do it on the neck.
No problems.
Mhm.
You might not want to do as many layers on the neck, be more careful because it's a much more sensitive area, but it worked great.
And be careful then where, like, let's say you were doing it in the winter or the fall, people were, wearing turtlenecks or wool sweaters. I'd be very, careful about that if I was doing it at that time, and tell them, not to have something, itchy, irritated, or kind of occluding that area at that time.
And which peel would you do? The reveal peel or the PRR?
Oh, definitely reveal.
Okay.
Yeah, the PRR is more for plumping. It's a gentler peel. It's not going to get a lot of pigment. It's not an aggressive peel. This is going to be an aggressive peel depending on the layers you put on it, but it's got you're working from so many different angles on the skin. It's sort of good for what ails you. It's good about everything. You can go more specific on individual lesions, but as far as the general overall peel, this is a great overall peel.
Awesome. And then this one's about our post-care instructions. So I can sort of answer this one. It says, do the post-care instructions still assume peel was done earlier in the day? In the past, patient had to adjust all the instructions if done in the evening. We do the morning sort of daytime instructions just because that's the most cautious one, right? Because they're exposed to the sun. I guess we could add in a nighttime regimen as well. The only thing that would be different is,
Well, most of the time, if they don't want them to do that, they just tell them to start that post care in the morning, just
Right.
like we did tonight. You're going to start this in the morning.
right.
And remember, when they leave your office or you get in the car, that windshield in the car does not block UV at all. So they have a long drive home, as I did one time when I did PDT on my face, not thinking about it, got one heck of a sunburn. So you need to be notice how long it takes them to get home too, as far as the caution. You may definitely want to, I don't know about putting a sunscreen on before they even leave your office.
Yeah, we didn't tonight because it's dark outside,
Yeah,
obviously.
if you have them in the morning, and especially if it's a sunshiny day and they're driving for a good distance home, that's a lot of.
They should have
heat in
sunscreen
your face.
put on.
Yeah.
Mhm.
All right, that's all the questions.
Okay.
And we can go over some, if you want to go over more of the peeled or the slides, or we can, there are questions at the end I can just skip through and then we can go over those.
Okay, that's what you want. If you're welcome to do that. But we've answered all the questions that everybody sent in.
Yep.
Oh, great.
I guess off the top of my head, just from remembering what we were reading earlier, would be, can you private label these peels? What other things? Can a Fitzpatrick 4 do either of these peels? So.
Well, private labeling, if you're not, why not?
Yeah.
Okay, do you want to compete with everybody else, or do you want them to get your product from you and then go online and buy it from Amazon for half price or something? So you do want a private label. It adds some professional to your lines that you're carrying. You think enough of it that you want to put your name on it. And it's just easier to give. You're not competing against this spa down the road that's a Groupon spa, and you're having to knock your prices down to mark those. So you definitely won't. It just adds some class to your office. So again, if you're not private labeling, you need to ask yourself, why am I not private labeling. I don't see any bad things, I guess, I really don't.
And when they pick that bottle up, it has your name on it.
But-
So that's what they have to think about. It has your.
That's what they do have your business card in their bathroom
Right.
all the time.
Well, and most of the time when you've had a peel, you're gonna see a friend or something and they're gonna say, what have you done? Your skin looks great. And when they say that, then, instead of them being able to go somewhere else and get that peel, they've got to come to, for instance, Dr. Clemens. Well, I had, the peel done at Dr. Clemens. At that point, you can name the peel whatever you want to when you private label it as well. You don't have to call it Reveal Peel. You can call it whatever you want. And then that peel is exclusive to your office. And we do private label the Reveal Peel. That way they go home with the post care already private labeled as well.
And then Fitzpatrick 4, all the peels we did today, fine.
Yep, and again, if you've got a 4 or 5, sunscreen,
Okay,
sunscreen, all the areas that you don't have to care for later on and worry about.
okay.
So,
And yeah, we just had more questions about should they private label or should they not? And yes, you can private label these peels, especially the Reveal Peel, because there is post care in there. So great opportunity.
and it's your own personal deal.
Yeah, exactly.
So once again, I want to thank everyone for joining us tonight. And we will be doing more of these build a brand workshops, and one of them will be on private label. So there'll be maybe one on vitamin C, but there's several of those coming. You'll be having those regularly, and a private label has been a big question that we get of all the benefits of that, for the offices and how does it work? Like, what's your minimums? Some people think it's going to be a whole lot to do. What are the formulas? And most of that you can find online. You will be getting an email of all of our order forms. We're offering, I know, across the board, 10% off of everything, but the peels will be a deeper discount than that. That marketing's worked out, and they'll be sending that to you maybe as we speak, or they may have already sent it during this, along with all the slides will be sent to you as well.
Yes. So we'll do the slides and stuff will be sent, and then the 10%, and it's buy 6, get 3 free of the Reveal Peel. And if you buy the 8%, you get the 4% for free. So great way to obviously advertise both of the retinol peels, and be able to upgrade your patients,
And with summer coming on, the retinol peels are a great, excellent thing to do. I mean, you could do a 4% peel and go to the beach. I live at the beach. I can tell you, I do 4% and go to the beach. So.
All right. And the slides do go over more of, ingredients and all those things. So any questions are probably answered in those slides, but you can always reach out to us and we'll be happy to answer.
Get a example.
All right. So
All right.
say goodbye.
Yes.
Okay.
All right.
Absolutely.
And thank you guys for coming to East Tennessee.
We'd love to do a purely.
Oh,